Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo, a special Collector's Corner edition. We're going to be mainly just discussing collecting news today.
That's the plan.
All right, well, let's then get to the plan.
Okay, we're to start out with talking about Hasbro announced new Cassian Andor Black Series, plus other vintage and retro collection figures. For the Black Series, Cassian Andor and the new droid B2 Emo from the upcoming show.
What kind of name is that?
Go figure, right? It's B2 EMO.
I'm going to assume this is going to be a moody droid.
Yes.
This one feels... A lot of times they have the on-the-nose names. This one might be a little too on-the-nose. We'll see.
It's going to be like the droid from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, boy.
The really depressed one.
Yes.
All right. So these are going to be released fall 2022 for $55.99. No idea what you can pre-order.
$55.99 for these two.
It's a pair, and they come with one accessory between them, Cassian's gun.
Oh, well, okay, that explains the $55 price tag.
Yeah.
Remember what a set like this would have been $40 at most?
What?
I know. Those were the good old days. I mean, even 40 is kind of high, isn't
I know,
it?
it's just a small droid. I mean, it's not even a full figure. There's no accessories, really.
Yeah, it's a very small droid. You almost feel like they're doing this pack because they realize if they tried to sell the droid by itself, everybody would be like, well, I'm not paying $25 for that. But then you put it with Cassian and together, and I guess they think people can't figure out that this is still way overpriced.
People are stupid.
Yeah, that's what they think of us.
The package is plastic-free.
Well, I mean, it is this is the convention exclusive, right?
No, it's not.
This is
No.
This is just how the package is?
That's just the package, I guess.
Oh boy. Well, So begins the taking of the parts wars.
Alright, so next in the Black Series, Boba Fett in disguise. This figure is, of course, inspired by the character.
From some reason, that reminded you of the Transformers theme song. Robots go ahead.
From Star Wars, The War of the Bounty Hunters comic, that when he was delivering Han Solo frozen in carbonite to Jabba...
Yes. He painted
they strike
his armor.
A deal.
Yeah.
He, as payment, must kill like a local fighting pit warrior.
Yep.
And he disguised himself so he can fight without suffering the repercussions, because no one's gonna understand that it's just Boba Fett with painted armor.
No, I didn't. I was so confused when I read it. I'm like, is that still Boba Fett or did he swap out? It was very
so confusing.
It was very confusing. Yes.
This one is the Comic-Con exclusive.
Okay.
So they are doing that thing again where you're gonna go up to the booth, you'll get a QR code which you can scan to pre-order. One QR code per customer, limited quantities. Then eventually they're going to come up on Hasbro Pulse later with their limited extras. It's going to be available in the fall, $33.99.
This is a really strange exclusive, in my opinion. Usually it's kind of something that most fans are going to know. This is something, I mean, I think most fans are going to assume this is just a painted Boba Fett because why not? But, I mean, it's from
white Boba Fett, you got black Boba Fett.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they painted him. I assume we're just going to have every color under the rainbow of Boba Fett. But, I mean, it's a weird figure because this is not like, I mean, the comic is, I guess, popular among comic book readers or, Star Wars comic book readers, but outside that sphere, I don't know that many people really care about War of the Bounty Hunters, so strange one to me.
Maybe they finally didn't want to release one that everyone's like, we would all want that.
But isn't that
I don't know.
Isn't that kind of the point of the exclusive, to make it something kind of more desirable, something a little more unique? And
they probably got enough on with their booth this time around.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. On to the vintage collection, we have the Rescue Set multi-pack. It's inspired, of course, by The Mandalorian with the Grogu Rescue. You're going to get Moff Gideon with a little Grogu, with the Darksaber, with a little Grogu and manacles. But what's cool is the Dark Troopers. They come with, different, you get one Dark Trooper in Mando, and he comes with, an effect that looks like you're stabbing him with his spear. The Dark Trooper also comes with, an on-fire effect. So it looks interesting. It's expensive, though. It's $74.99.
Jeez.
$74.99 for 4 figures. And available in the spring.
Oh boy. I mean, it looks kind of cool. That price tag ain't cool.
Alright, so for Retro Collection, there is a special Bounty Hunter 2-pack, Boba Fett and Bosk. It's available for pre-order now at Amazon for $27.99. It's going to be released in the spring.
Yeah, this one's... I kind of like the Retro Collection and kind of don't. I hate that the cards usually have the big Retro Collection on it. I like that they would, or I would like if they were just kind of more like the actual retro cards, which is what the vintage collection is, so I guess so.
They could have made the logo a little smaller at least.
Something, yeah, exactly. Just a tiny logo instead of taking up a good chunk of the picture. I don't really like that. I don't know. That's me.
Alright, we'll just briefly go into, for Funko, Chrysanthemum, Flocked, Cassian Armor, and a Purge Trooper are going to be joining their lineup. They're going to be available at Comic-Con starting tomorrow, $14.99 each.
That too seems like a hefty price tag. Weren't Funkos like $9 a couple years ago?
Well, the Flocked ones and special edition ones usually did cost a little bit more.
All right.
A little bit more. All right, if we're done with that article, we can move on now.
All right.
Hasbro officially announced the Selfie series. We did talk about this a month or so ago because we heard the leak of the Selfie series.
Yeah.
Well, they've done a full release. There's a little trailer and everything. They've extended what we originally knew we could get as a Selfie body, I guess. You can get, some Star Wars, Marvel, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming there's an audience for this or a customer base for this. That's not really something I find all that interesting, I guess, but all right.
Right. I mean, the Star Wars options include Mandalorian, Warrior, Imperial Stormtrooper, X-Wing Pilot, and Rebel Princess.
I mean, the face sculpts look pretty good. I mean,
but what's sad is there's no customization at all for the body sculpt.
True.
Like,
so, yeah, you just
can't
get
make
that.
them a little shorter or a little taller.
Aren't you a little short for a Stormtrooper? Yeah, I know. I'm terrible.
I mean, what bothers me about these most is the price tag. They're going to be $59.99 each, and really, it's because you're getting a head.
Yeah.
You're getting a 3D printed head. And I mean, the face sculpt is going to be... the price have some... it's going to look okay. I've got some pictures of them.
They look all right. I mean, I don't think they look anything, like, mind-blowingly amazing, but they look all right. I mean, they look like the person. You're going to be able to recognize, oh, that's you. It's not like, who is this supposed to be?
And how much detail can you really get when you're just scanning your face with your phone?
This is true, too.
Because that's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to scan your own face.
That could factor in, depending on what phone you have or how well you do it, or lighting, or you might get some weird shadows on. I have no idea how this works.
Where did that come from? I don't know.
Some people out there are going to touch up, they're going to like Photoshop their face in real life first before they scan it. Like, look how good I look.
I always wanted a Keanu Reeves done up as a...
Yeah, can you send other people's faces? I mean, how do they know you're not just scanning random people and like... I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of expensive. It's not necessarily something I'm interested in. Like, it's kind of disappointing you have a limited number of body choices, and I don't know.
This is the first wave. I'm sure if it goes well, they might extend the body choices, but they can't really extend things like heights, weights, dimensions on body, and that's where it falls short. Because the bodies are all going to look the same, and if you do this like for your kid, they're going to have like this adult, body.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, you almost wish they could have like little Anakin pod racing figures or something you could pop your kid's head on or something. I don't know.
Well, what else bothers me is the
Omega
lack of choice bodies. Like, okay, for Power Rangers, they show you two. They show you the Red Ranger and the Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
If you're a girl, you want the female body, you get the Pink Ranger. What if I wanted to be a Red Ranger as a lady? Not an option.
Well,
not an option.
That's very disappointing. Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to talking about San Diego Comic-Con with just about the Hasbro and collecting stuff.
Okay, yes, because there's a lot of other things we
can
certainly...
I'm sure we'll get into at least some of it.
Probably, yeah.
So Hasbro kind of revealed some of their exclusives and their panels going on, and we're only going to talk about the ones that really relate to stuff that we would talk about on this channel. So if you don't hear me talking about it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist? Okay.
So Hasbro is returning to Comic-Con, bringing a huge portfolio of brands this year, including Transformers, Dungeons & Dragons, Magic the Gathering, Nerf, G.I. Joe, and Power Rangers, as well as projects from their collaborating brands that are like Star Wars and Marvel. Their 2022 lineup is going to be showcased throughout the convention to kind of deliver an epic experience for fans of all ages with product reveals, exclusives, autograph signings, if you're into that.
Etc.
Yeah. The Selfie series is also going to be debuting there, giving fans the opportunity to kind of look at them, see them with their own eyes. And a select number of fans are going to be the first to actually get to create and purchase their figures. So there will be some actual ones out in the world after. Ashley Eckstein should get one done so that we could put her face onto an Ahsoka body.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, if you just buy the head, you can do all the customizing you want. Take your extra figures and be like, jam.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can do whatever yeah. Kid bashing to a whole new level.
They're offering 2 exclusives. We already talked about the Boba Fett in disguise, but they're also doing a G.I. Joe classified series, the Dr. Mindbender. And you could actually go to that booth today and get your code. Dungeons & Dragons, though, isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Doing
yes.
like their first toy line, really, for this. It's going to be ahead of their as they call it, their highly anticipated movie by Paramount in E1. The product line is inspired by Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, which premieres only in theaters March 2023 and supposedly brings the rich world and playful spirit of the legendary role-playing game to the big screen in a hilarious and action-packed adventure.
There's a couple words in there that I dread hearing. Hilarious. And I certainly understand, yes, a lot of people have a lot of fun playing D&D. You can get quite hilarious. We have had that experience around our home table. But I don't know that the movie should be hilarious. I think the movie should take itself seriously. I'm not sure. This is sounding more like a Critical Role kind of influenced idea here, that D&D needs to be funny, which maybe I'm in the minority and that's what most D&D players these days want. I don't know. I kind of remember that film from mid-90s, I think it was. It was an atrocity to D&D. And it was kind of humorous, and it kind of has the same tone I think you would see, out of a funny kind of D&D movie, even though it's terrible. So I don't know. That gets me worried. It gets me very worried.
Well, they will have a panel at Comic-Con for the new movie, so you can
possibly a trailer.
Possibly what it's going to be then. Yeah, that panel will be Thursday, July 21st at 12 Pacific for the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves panel specifically. Yay.
I hope hilarious isn't
One thing that I find interesting is for G.I. Joe, they're actually going to bring the hiss so you can see it in person.
Very nice.
Obviously, they're going to be making that now. That is the new HasLab project that got funded in less than a day.
Yeah.
And it's maxed out its tiers. It looks good, though.
It does look good. Looks good enough to throw down for.
So, Star Wars, they're actually going to be debuting some new product for Star Wars, which is interesting. I mean, I didn't know that. I thought they might be tapped out till Andor started dropping product, I guess. They're going to have a panel for Star Wars Hasbro Friday, July 22nd, 2 to 3 p.m. There's going to be some interesting new product offerings, including a recently revealed Star Wars While Riding Grogu, which I'm assuming is some lame toy for children and not a Black Series. The new Star Wars Bounty Collection Series Wave. Go figure, we'll learn more then, I guess.
I guess so, yeah.
Marvel's also getting a panel for their Legends on Friday from 12:30 to 1:30. So they're going to have panels for like all of their product franchises. Just they get like their own room.
Their own little corner of the convention hall.
Absolutely. And last thing to bring up, Hasbro Pulse Con 2022 date has been revealed. It's going to be September 30th through October 1st. And like previous years, there's going to be reveals, sneak peeks, product pre-orders for Vintage Collection, Black Series, and more.
See, I do wonder if they keep... I mean, it's so strange that we keep having, like, there's Comic-Con, there's probably going to be a little live stream for Andor, we have the Pulse Con. I feel like they're trying to announce so many projects that they've just gotten themselves so behind. Like, pre-orders are... Sometimes they're pre-ordering a year in advance or more.
We still haven't gotten our Gale and Merrick and...
Yeah, exactly. So it feels like they just, for the sake of constantly showing new product, they're getting further and further behind in with the release window. I mean, in theory, you'd want to show new product and be like, coming in a few months, or, hey, we already have this and you can pre-order it and get it tomorrow. Instead, it's always like, coming spring 2027, it's going to be... And what's strange is they've gotten behind on the actual, the figures for the currently released show. Like, how many Obi-Wan Kenobi figures came out with the series? Did any really come out? Instead, it's like, order this Kenobi figure for, next year.
Yay!
Whatever happened to, like, hey, you actually get a couple weeks before the show or the movie drops, you get the figures, you can go get them. It's all part of the excitement and the hype train. Instead, that's just completely ended.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any of this collecting news. And tell us what you think about the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons movie. Does that get you worried hearing it's going to be hilarious, or is that exactly what you want out of a film like that? Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.